So I had this idea to shoot this high-end activewear project shot in a London rooftop car park. I did my usual due diligence. Now I did my usual due diligence, did my scouting, my planning and prepping, but there was still a slight hiccup, and I'll get back to you on that a little bit later. I reached out to an agency model who I'd worked with on numerous campaigns. We had a good rapport, pitched her the idea, and she was in. I'd been holding on to this rooftop shoot idea for quite some time, but I knew finding the right location was always going to be a challenge. I'd seen a few places, especially on Google Maps, that I thought could work. Scouted 1 or 2, even 3 locations, till I found the right one, and I knew it was just going to be the perfect spot. Once I was happy with my location, the next thing I did was start to put together a pre-production doc. I find doing this helps to ensure there is no miscommunication beforehand and that everybody knows what's up on the day. My pre-production decks tend to be a combination of a number of things. No one is ever the same, and they always vary based on the demands of the shoot. I'll use Google Slides to set up a new document with every new shoot, and I'll combine that with a meeting location point, a Google Maps screen grab, so that everyone knows how to get there if they're traveling separately. I'll also add a slide reference page of the location where we'll be shooting to. I find this helps everyone to visualize the space beforehand, so that when we rock up, there are no hidden surprises. I'll include a wardrobe page so that my subjects have an idea of what to bring if wardrobe isn't supplied on the day. Also, I'll include a mood board page, which I often reference. It keeps me inspired, motivated, and gives me plenty of ideas throughout the shoot. Lastly, I'll have a gear checklist, which isn't part of my production document, but it's to make sure that I don't forget any crucial equipment such as lens filters or camera batteries. You'd be surprised how often these things do happen. So I think having a gear checklist is really important. Trust me, I've learned my lesson. So I tend to go through my camera gear the day before with my checklist, ticking things off, so that on the day of the shoot, I'm pretty much ready to go. Now, a couple of days before the shoot, we had to switch days. Now, normally this is fine. These things happen. But when we turned up at the location, there was a notice at the car park that said it was closed. No access to the rooftop. No cars were being allowed in. It was total shutdown. You can imagine what I was thinking. So herein lies the lesson. Never make assumptions that things will stay the same if you're going to have to reschedule. Check up on all your dates, your location times again, and make sure you still have access on the rescheduled date. Don't be me. Don't. So we grabbed some hot drinks to regroup, and in my head, I was thinking, how do I not let this day go to waste? Having a quick scan of the area, I spotted this wall garden. It's pretty tall, lovely green leaves growing on it. I thought this would probably make a good backdrop. And in that instant, a new idea came to mind. We were back in play. I knew my model practiced yoga flame. So I proposed we shoot a yoga style shoot instead, using the garden wall as the backdrop, yoga fire. Something simple and easy to achieve, as I was really conscious of the time that we had taken up already. Luckily, she was happy with the idea and on board. So we just hit the ground running, we set up at the new location and started shooting. Now, part of my original idea was to shoot a sports montage alongside the photography shoot. But since the plan had changed, we still decided to go ahead and shoot some video content. Why? because you never know, something might come out of it. So as it was an early start, it was a quiet time of the day. So while I was recording, some new ideas began to form, and it helped me to narrow the story that was developing throughout the shoot. I was very much motivated by the space, the environment, the sounds, and it allowed me to focus what I was capturing and visualize the story. Something yoga inspired, something simple, and that focused on the serenity that the practice brings. A good tip I found was to get the model to repeat various yoga movements, and this gave me the opportunity and time to capture both film and photography from different perspectives. And another good tip, if you're after a specific look or pose from your model, don't be afraid to cut some shapes and strike a pose. Sometimes it's quicker for them to see the pose you're after than it is to direct them into that position. Just cut some shapes. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. I made sure to mix my shooting angles. Some sitting, some standing, some super close. Maximizing my coverage meant that I had a great selection to choose from. Since my A7R III was already dialed in to shoot both video and stills at flick of a switch, it made capturing everything seamless to a point. Every so often I would forget I would have my VND filter on, so I would find myself having to compensate when I was in photography mode. In the end, the shoot was a success, and I hope that is reflected in the stills that you can see. And what could have been a disaster of a day turned into a great shoot on a whim. That's a win, I'll take that. Oh, and the video turned out well too, which is also on my channel. So, my advice, try to make good out of a bad situation, keep calm when things don't go your way, and consider having another idea if your original plan doesn't go to plan, and have fun with it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment sections below. My name is Gus Nwanya, and I will see you in the next one.